Hey there, deep divers. Have you ever caught yourself just wondering, what all that scrolling is actually doing to your brain?
Mm.
Today we are diving deep into the world of short form video. Your TikToks, your Reels and Shorts, and you're probably here because you want to understand how these platforms work, beyond just the entertainment factor, right?
Right.
Well, get ready, because we're about to uncover some surprising facts about attention spans and dopamine, and even how these videos might be affecting your memory.
It's fascinating, how often we think of these platforms as like pure fun, and what we don't realize is the science behind them and the impact that these videos have on our thinking and behavior.
Yeah.
It's not about saying these platforms are bad, but understanding how they work so we can be more mindful.
Okay, so let's kick things off with a topic we can all relate to, that irresistible urge to keep scrolling. I know I'm guilty of it.
Oh, yeah.
What is it about these short videos that make them so addictive? It can't just be the cute animal videos, right?
Well, those are definitely a factor. But it really comes down to dopamine. That feel-good chemical our brains release when we experience something pleasurable.
Okay.
Short-form videos are designed to deliver these quick bursts of dopamine, kind of like a slot machine.
Wait, so you're telling me my brain reacts to a TikTok the same way it would to hitting a jackpot?
Yeah, think about it. Every time you swipe, there's a chance of seeing something funny or surprising or intriguing.
Right.
This unpredictability keeps us hooked, constantly anticipating that next hit of dopamine.
Okay, that makes sense. But does that really mean that short videos are rewiring our brains?
It's a bit more nuanced than that, but there's definitely a connection between short-form video consumption and changes in our attention spans.
Okay.
Have you probably heard of the goldfish effect, right?
Yeah, the one that says our attention spans are shorter than a goldfish. Sounds a little dramatic, though. Is there any truth to that?
Well, Microsoft study found that the average human attention span has dropped to just 8 seconds, which is actually shorter than a goldfish's purported 9 seconds.
Wow.
And while there are a lot of factors involved, researchers believe that the rise of rapid-fire content plays a significant role.
I guess it makes sense when you think about it. Short videos are packed with jump cuts and flashy visuals and information constantly vying for our attention.
Yeah.
It's like our brains are being trained for distraction.
Exactly. Our brains adapt to this frantic pace, making it harder to focus on anything that unfronts more slowly.
Right.
This has implications for everything from our work and reading habits to even how we hold conversations.
So we've covered dopamine and shrinking attention spans. What about memory? I have to admit, I sometimes feel like I can't remember things as well as I used to.
Yeah.
Is there a link between all this scrolling and memory problems?
That's a question that researchers are actively exploring. One of the concerns with short-form content is that it often leads to surface-level engagement.
Okay.
You're exposed to a lot of information, but very little is processed deeply enough to be stored in long-term memory.
Hold on, so you're saying all that scrolling might actually be making us more forgetful?
Yeah.
That's a little unsettling.
Think of it this way. Imagine trying to learn a new language by only watching 15-second clips.
Okay.
You might pick up a few words or phrases, but you're unlikely to develop a deep understanding of the grammar and structure.
Right.
It's the same with short-form content. Your brain is taking tiny bites of information, but not really chewing on it.
Okay, that analogy makes it a lot clearer. But it's not just our attention and memory that are being impacted, right? There's also a whole other layer of emotional manipulation and social influence going on.
Right.
It's almost like a conspiracy theory, but these platforms know how to push our buttons, don't they?
It's not so much a conspiracy as it is sophisticated algorithms.
Okay.
They quickly learn what you engage with, and then they create what's called an echo chamber around you.
An echo chamber. You mean like only hearing my own opinions reflected back at me?
Exactly. You mostly see content that reinforces your existing beliefs and biases, even if those beliefs might be misleading or incomplete. And it goes beyond just limiting your worldview.
Okay.
Think about how these short videos use emotions.
Oh, yeah. I've definitely noticed that it seems like every video is trying to make me laugh or cry or get angry.
Yeah. To grab your attention, creators often rely on strong emotional triggers.
Right.
You get a rush of excitement, outrage, or even fear.
Yeah.
But this constant exposure to heightened emotions can actually make real life feel a bit boring in comparison.
It's like we're getting emotionally desensitized. And then there's that whole comparison trap, right?
Yeah.
Scrolling through everyone's perfectly curated lives. it's easy to start feeling bad about your own.
Absolutely. It's crucial to remember that you're only seeing a highlight reel.
Right.
The best moments, the edited versions.
Okay.
Comparing yourself to these idealized versions can be incredibly damaging to your self-worth.
I try to remind myself of that, but it's so easy to forget when you're bombarded with these seemingly perfect lives. And I have a feeling all of this ties into our sleep and productivity too, doesn't it?
You're right on the money. Have you ever found yourself scrolling mindlessly before bed, telling yourself, just one more video?
Oh, absolutely. And then suddenly it's 2 a.m. and I'm wondering where the night went.
That's the blue light from our screens messing with our sleep cycles.
Okay.
It suppresses melatonin production,
Okay.
which is the hormone that helps regulate our sleep.
Okay, so that explains the late nights and the groggy mornings. But let's talk about the other huge time suck, the procrastination black hole that is infinite scrolling.
Right.
I've lost countless hours to that.
It's a classic procrastination trap.
Yeah.
You open TikTok for a quick mental break, and suddenly you're 3 hours deep into a rabbit hole of DIY projects and cat videos.
I think we've officially bummed everyone out, but before we all swear off the internet forever, I'm hoping you have some good news for us. We don't have to completely ditch short-form video, do we?
No.
There's got to be a way to enjoy it without all the negative side effects.
You're absolutely right. These platforms can be sources of entertainment, information, and even inspiration when used consciously.
Okay.
It's all about finding a healthy balance and developing mindful habits.
Okay, so let's talk solutions. I know our research mentions some specific tips for taking back control. What's the first step?
One of the simplest but most effective things you can do is set time limits.
Okay.
Most smartphones have built-in features for tracking and limiting screen time.
Right.
You can set daily limits for specific apps or even schedule downtime when certain apps will be blocked.
So technology can actually help us fight technology. Ironic, but I'll take it. What else can we do?
Taking regular breaks is also crucial. Remember the 20-20-20 rule?
Yeah.
Every 20 minutes, take a 20-second break and look at something 20 feet away.
That's a good one. Easy to remember, and it forces you to look away from the screen. I'm guessing you're also going to recommend we start reading more books, right?
Well, consciously incorporating long-form content into your media diet is definitely key.
Okay.
Try reading books, listening to podcasts, or watching documentaries. It's like a workout for your attention span.
Okay. I can get behind that. What about those sneaky settings that keep us hooked? Anything we should be aware of?
Definitely disable autoplay.
Okay.
It's designed to keep you seamlessly moving from one video to the next without any pause.
Right.
By turning it off, you create a natural break point, making it easier to step away.
That's a great tip.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that right after this. What else have you got?
Here's a powerful one. Shift from passive consumption to active creation. Instead of just scrolling, try making your own videos.
Okay.
It engages different parts of your brain and encourages deeper processing of information.
Interesting. I hadn't thought about that. But it makes sense when you're creating, you're more engaged and invested in the process.
Exactly. And finally, practice mindfulness.
Okay.
Before you open that app, take a moment to ask yourself why you're doing it. Are you seeking information, connection,
Yeah.
or just a way to escape?
Wow, that's such a simple question, but it really makes you think.
Yeah.
I'm definitely guilty of using short-form video as a mindless escape. Sometimes it's so easy to fall into that trap.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
It's not about judging ourselves, but about becoming more aware of our motivations and making conscious choices.
So it really all comes down to like awareness and making intentional choices, right?
Exactly. Short-form videos aren't inherently bad, but like anything else, it's about finding a healthy balance.
Yeah, right.
Being aware of the potential downsides, the dopamine traps, the impact on attention span, and the emotional manipulation allows us to make informed decisions about how we use these platforms.
It's like that old saying, everything in moderation, right?
Exactly.
I have to say, I'm feeling a lot more informed and a lot less judgmental about my own scrolling habits.
That's what we were hoping for. Knowledge is power. Especially when it comes to understanding how these platforms are designed and how they affect our minds.
And hopefully everyone listening is feeling empowered to take back control of their scroll.
Absolutely.
I know I am.
Small changes can make a big difference. Even just setting those time limits or being more mindful of your motivations can have a positive impact.
So to wrap things up, deep divers, here's a final thought for you to chew on. Imagine putting down your phone and stepping away from your favorite short-form video platform for a whole day. What would that look like for you? How would you spend that extra time and mental space?
It's a challenge worth considering. You might surprise yourself with what you discover.
Until next time, stay curious and happy scrolling, but maybe not too much.